I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Oh.
All right, everyone, and welcome back to the VHS Doom podcast and video rental store. We are so glad that you decided to join us again, and we're also really glad you decided to return your rentals from last week. Are you drinking in the front? What is that?
Oh God, my finger's stuck. What?
What was that?
You know, like when you open a can, it doesn't like open, like it's like broken.
I told you can't drink in the front. Listen, this is a great time to address this. So. I've had a few complaints from Hugh Janus, our boss, and he's scared of you. So he wants
It might be my last day, guys.
He wants me to talk to you about all of the death metal that you've been playing in the store and how it's scaring little children, even though Scabby Man and Balthazar are always like, you know, breaking down and doing dances. So you really got to calm down with all the music, buddy.
I don't know. I'm never there when Hugh is there, so he doesn't know what I'm doing.
I don't know. He must be watching and listening in on the cameras or something. I think.
Oh shit! There's sound on those cameras. Those cameras actually work.
I think so, and I think Leon Labia, the district manager, his boss is getting onto him. I think somebody sent corporate a letter. So.
Oh man.
Yeah. What were you listening to?
A bunch of shit. I don't even know at this point.
Yeah. Interesting.
Could have been Gates to Hell. Could have been Sanguisa Sugar Bog. Could have been through this. I'm not sure. Yeah,
I think the complaint mentioned something about dirty toilet water demons or something. I don't know.
Oh man.
Anyway,
you know I'm seeing them in August.
Yeah. No, I know.
Second time this year.
That's awesome, man. I have such a hard time with their name, but that's okay. Yeah, so anyway, calm down, Mikey. Or you can just like suplex Hugh Janus through like a table, like whatever. He'll probably just quit.
Think about the sentence you just said.
What, Hugh Janus? I don't know.
The whole thing with that.
Suplex a Hugh Janus through a table. Love it. Yeah, but then Leon Labia'd probably have to come over and work the store for a few days, and I don't really.
Yeah, I think Mike Oxfong has to come with him too.
Oh God. Yeah, we got to calm down. Anyway, just FYI, he was too scared to talk to you, so I figured I'd let you know. I don't give a shit.
I'm drinking a Ghost right now, sour watermelon flavor.
Oh, okay.
It's a Warhead one.
Drinking in the front again, I see.
Well, he's not here today.
Oh yeah. Who gives a shit? Whatever, man. Just don't spill it on the cases. You know we got to clean those. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was just adding to what Scabby Man was doing.
God, he's wild. He's wild.
Keeps chewing on those boxes.
He does be chewing on them and rubbing his mucusy things all over the boxes.
His fresh scabs.
Yeah, sure, or pus or whatever it is. I don't know.
It's kind of a mixture of both.
Yeah, I don't know if you could call them scabs yet. Anyway, all right, well, welcome back, everybody. We're glad you decided to risk your lives and come back into our store again. But it is a ton of fun if you're willing to risk your life and possibly get suplexed through a table that has barbed wire on it, or have
fire.
That's on fire, or have a half demon, half human, come after you and try to tickle you a little bit or whatever, have you tickle his head.
He's tickling people now?
Yeah, he's weird.
Does he know HR is not happy about that?
Yeah, I don't know that he knows there's an HR. He's a demon.
Oh, true.
I don't think they have that where he comes from. And then, if you're also willing to deal with a possible like scab covered like entity that tries to, get hive mind style armies built up by feeding you scab tabs. Yeah, scab tabs.
Tabs.
There we go. Add that to the repertoire. Anyway.
Like acid tablets.
Right, scab tabs. Yeah, man. Well, welcome back. We're so glad you are risking your lives to be our customers. and our patrons. We hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful week, and you enjoyed all of the titles that we recommended. Of course, you better have rewound every single one of those movies, and that was 6. We gave you one on the house.
Yeah, we gave you one extra.
So
Usually don't do that.
Yeah, if that's not rewound, I'm going to be sad. So your movies from last week, we talked about in depth, Dead Alive or Brain Dead. Mikey recommended The Dentist 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We also had Hell
The
High.
producer of this movie we're going to be talking about today.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Houston directed them.
Nice. Yeah. So all tie-ins there. Hell High, right? Hell High.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then
I think we did 3 kids movies, right?
2. We did 2 kids movies. They took out Small Soldiers and The Fox and the Hound. Yeah, man. Did you watch The Fox and the Hound? You definitely should with your kid.
I still haven't yet.
You're just gonna cry. It's super.
I think
sad.
I have. Like, now that I think about it, I think I have seen that movie.
Yeah, I think the voices are like Mickey Rourke and like Kevin Bacon or something. I'd have to look that up again, but I'm pretty sure it's like 2 relatively big name actors, and also they spent like, I don't know, $10 million on the movie, and the movie made $63 million at the box office. What?
That's insane.
Isn't that wild? Anyway, whatever. Disney, they know how to make money for sure. So
that's all they're doing right now.
Yeah, right. Anyway, yeah. So thanks for coming in, guys, and chilling with us. So, Mikey, how was your week, man?
It was good. Same old, same old. Just taking Sam places and having fun. I watched a couple movies. Well, I watched a movie, and then I watched the one we're talking about today. I watched right before the show.
Okay.
I watched Fright Night Part 2 from 1988. It's directed by the director of Halloween 3 and editor of Halloween 1, Tommy Lee Wallace. It's a really good vampire movie.
Okay, nice.
It picks up where the first one left off.
Okay.
The director of the first one was supposed to direct this one, but he chose Child's Play 1 instead because he wrote that also. It's a good one. So Charlie goes off to school. He meets his neighbor's sister, and crazy vampire stuff happens after that.
Okay.
Solid movie.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome. What was the year, did you say?
88.
88. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I feel like the 80s, man, they were just rolling with that like practical effects stuff.
Oh my god, that's the best part.
Yeah, for sure. I actually well, were there any other movies you watched or wanted to talk about?
We watched new episodes of Barry and Yellow Jackets, but other than that, nothing else.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Yeah. Oh, and Mother's Day. Did y'all have a good Mother's Day?
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
We pretty much hung around. We went to the park. It was a nice day outside.
Cool. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we had a good day too for Mother's Day. We my wife actually got like rollerblades at a garage sale and wanted to go. It was not on Mother's Day that she got them, but anyway, she wanted to go rollerblading, so she got to go rollerblading, and we walked and went to the park, and I just hung out with the kid and had a real good day. So that's awesome.
Love those kind of days.
Yeah. So actually, I'm super lucky. This past week, I was traveling for a couple days. I had a flight delay that kept me in Dallas 24 hours longer.
He ended the last episode while on the road.
Yeah, but then I was going to get home by Thursday when we recorded on Tuesday, and I didn't get home until Friday at like 10 p.m. Because I was so delayed. So anyway, I mean, the only good like consolation out of that is that I had time to watch movies. So I ended up on the trip watching House on Haunted Hill, Vincent Price classic, I think 1959. Yeah, super solid film. Man, he is just a force, like a tour de force, Vincent Price. highly recommend, if you guys haven't, go listen to the Doombox podcast episode 4, which is all about Vincent Price. I feel like you'll learn some stuff about him, but the man could act. So that was just
he was amazing.
Yeah, it was a great film, and everything I was watching over my trip by Vincent Price was really good. And then I also on Mikey's suggestion, because it was on the way back right after we recorded the Dead Alive episode, I watched Bad Taste, 1987, I think it was, right?
I think so. I could be wrong. Hold on, let me see.
I want to say 87. But the Peter Jackson
87.
Yeah, Peter Jackson original Bad Taste, which put him on the map, really, and guided him into every bit of career that he's had. That movie took several years to film and kind of got pieced together because it was friends making a film, kind of like we did, when we were
That's
making.
what always made me want to do more with Brava because of that.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, it's been years, but why don't we pick it back up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, we don't live that far away anymore, so.
Yeah. Honestly, I could see some of the effects in that movie, the fact that they were done by friends was so cool, because I could see how some of the effects were just as good as his next bigger budget, Brain Dead or Dead Alive. Like some of the effects were just as good. Like when they cut the in the beginning, when he cut the alien's head off with the machete or whatever, like that looked really good. And then particularly the brain splatter stuff, like the effect where oh gosh, I can't remember the character's name, but the little guy with glasses, the dorky guy, he fell off the cliff and busted his head open. When they popped the head open and he was putting brains back in his head, that looked really good. They did a good job for just some friends, it got me a little bit. I was like, oh God, one of those moments. So that's great. Yeah. It's always good when that happens. Yeah. So you're a big fan of this film, so I'm going to let you ask me anything you want to ask me about this movie, because we were talking about it a little bit.
What was your favorite kill in the movie then?
Kill
or death.
Death, yeah. Favorite death.
Or favorite effect even too.
No, it's okay. I would say effect, because it wasn't death, but what got to me, there are a couple things that got me, right? One was the brain thing, when his brain fell out of his head and he kept shoving other brains back in his head, and putting a belt on it or whatever.
Yeah, that was very gross.
Yeah, that was gross, and it was cool. I also think what got me, what was ooh, was because I don't hands and feet stuff bothers me. So when the little glasses dorky dude was nailing his knife into Peter Jackson, the alien's foot, I mean, it wasn't even a big effect. It was just the way they built it up. That got me. And then lastly, holy shit, when they started eating his bowl of vomit, I was
really disgusting.
Oh God, oh.
Were you eating?
No, I was on a plane at that point.
Was somebody next to you while you were watching this?
Yes, but I got really lucky. My travel experience was horrid, except for the fact that my very last connecting flight, I had an open middle seat. So I was watching Bad Taste without somebody right next to me. So that's good.
Yeah, when I used to come up to see Katie before I moved up here, I would take the bus, and it was always the whole ride was be terrible because someone would be falling asleep on me.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, it's just when we switch off to a different bus, the whole seat to myself.
That's always the best. It really is. Yeah. So I was able kind of to spread out, and then also block the screen a little bit from the other person who was in the row with me.
You should have one of those films over your computer screen so they can't see it, but you can.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I was trying to be well, let's not let anybody around me see all the brains flying around, or Peter Jackson eating brains out of a head.
Or vomit.
Yeah, or people drinking vomit. So.
Or drinking it, I guess. I would
I don't know how much you chew it. You probably just swallow it, chunks and all, Anyway, yeah, so that's what I watched this week with my little employee discount. You know, we get half off on rentals or whatever. Only reason I work here, Hugh, I need a raise. Hello. Anyway, yeah, so that was the week, man. Yeah, I guess that's it. You have anything else you want to talk about?
Nothing yet.
Cool.
Well, I mean the main topic.
Well, yeah, I mean we got to jump into a lot, yeah. But like as far as what happened last week, that's it. Cool. All right. Well, step up, folks. First of all, I hope you put all of your VHS boxes into the return slot over there by the door. We make it easy to return, but you got to rewind it.
Please
okay?
don't put any food in there. Please.
No, please stop putting trash and banana peels and like
rotten pizza.
Bro, that's so rude.
With pustules from Lionel's mother.
I think I saw some custard with an ear in it. Yeah. Did somebody pour their bowl of custard in the slot with an ear in it? Holy shit, man.
Whole bag of vomit inside.
Anyway, well, yeah. You know the rules. You're a good customer. So, all right. So you got all those returned, but this week we have some new recommendations for you. The first and most important being one of our all-time favorite films for me, for sure, and I think Mikey would say the same thing.
I'm obsessed with anything Lovecraft, but The Re-Animator is my favorite Lovecraft movie of all time.
It is so good. So this week, our number one recommendation in the movie that we're going to be diving into is Re-Animator. Step on up. Let's get into it. All right, well, here we go. So, back of the box, Re-Animator, also known as H.P. Lovecraft's Re-Animator, is a 1985 American comedy horror film loosely based on the 1922 H.P. Lovecraft serial novelette, Herbert West, Re-Animator. This was directed by Stuart Gordon and produced by Brian Yuzna. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, it's Yuzna.
Yuzna.
They're a great duo. They made a lot of good movies together.
Yeah, you said he directed what?
Return of the Living Dead 3, Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 5.
Nice. Okay.
And Society.
All right. Yeah, good titles. Yeah, you asked me about Society, actually, I think
I showed you
this
it.
week.
I asked if you remember.
Yep. Yeah, we watched that one together.
That was a gross one, but funny.
Yep, absolutely. I feel like I confuse Society with Slither for some reason.
Okay, so Society is the one where at the end they have all this like weird like melding thing of them like they're all having like sex together.
Oh yeah.
The shunting they call it.
Right. Holy shit. Man.
It's based on a oh my god, Dolly painting, the one where like time is melting.
Oh yeah, I really like that painting. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or it might be one of his other paintings, but that's what Screaming Mad George said before, the effects artist.
Cool. Gotcha. Well, that's on the list, again, to rewatch. My list includes both new watches and rewatches, you know? All right, so let's jump back in. So it was directed by Stuart Gordon and produced by Brian Yuzna. The film stars Jeffrey Combs as Herbert West. Jeffrey Combs, who is just a horror icon in himself, I believe.
One of the best horror actors of all time, or just actors in general. Yeah,
and he'll have an episode to himself at some point. But anyway, he's
Warrior,
right. One of them. But he stars as a medical student who has invented a reagent which can reanimate deceased bodies. He and his classmate Dan Cain, played by Bruce Abbott, begin to test the serum on dead human bodies and conflict with Dr. Carl Hill, who I love. And that was played by...
David Gale's a great actor.
David Gale, yeah, he really is too. He is infatuated with Kane's fiance, who's played by Barbara Crampton.
So weird.
So weird. We get weird on that one. And he wants to claim...
On the autopsy table, it gets really weird.
We'll get there. Calm down, you. Anyway, he wants to claim the invention of the reagent or reanimator agent as his own. Cool. All right. So this movie, I mean, iconic, in almost every like poster or picture that you see is the bright neon green
Needle.
serum.
Yeah.
But the original theatrical release poster had a yellow serum. Did you notice that?
That's the poster I have that we got at the convention.
Yeah. So that one's different because I feel like they feature that green so like
I had that
everywhere.
as my wallpaper on my computer at school when I was like a kid.
I'm sure your teachers love that. Oh man, awesome. All right. Well, okay. So it was directed by Stuart Gordon, as I said. The screenplay was by Dennis Paoli, William J. Norris, and Stuart Gordon. So he worked on the screenplay as well. Obviously, based on Herbert West's Re-Animator by H.P. Lovecraft. Cinematography
Stuart
on
has
this.
done like multiple. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Stuart Gordon has done like multiple Lovecraft adaptations.
Such as?
From Beyond, which is the Rejuvenator, I think it's called. He's done. I showed you the Evil Clergyman, which is like a different with like that little rat guy in it.
Yep.
Castle Freak.
Yep.
Which is the book The Outsider.
Which also it starred Jeffrey Combs, or Jeffrey Combs was in Castle Freak.
And Barbara Crampton.
Yeah, and Barbara Crampton, right?
And Barbara Crampton too. And also Dreams in a Witch House, which was one of the Masters of Horror episodes.
Nice. Have you watched Lovecraft Country? Not to get too far off topic, we might not include this.
Yeah, I watched the first couple episodes. I really liked it.
I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it is good. But that's Jordan Peele is doing that, right? I think he's the producer.
I think so. I could be wrong. I think he is, yeah.
I think so. Anyway, all right. Sorry, get back on track. So cinematography was by Mac Alberg. It was edited by Lee Percy. The music is by Richard Band.
Charles Band's brother from Full Moon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know that.
And Charles Band produced it and released it under Empire Films.
Okay. Gotcha.
Or was it
All
Wizard?
right.
I can't remember. It was one of the two other Wizards. Besides Full Moon, he had like 3 other companies.
Okay. Yeah, I know that this film was the production company was actually Re-Animator Productions, so I assume they produced it themselves, and maybe the rest of their Re-Animator films.
I think it's
through
home
this?
video.
Was it?
I think it was, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Anyway, yeah, so release date, it came out on October 18th, 1985 with an 86-minute runtime, which is 86 minutes of fun. And you know what? It made money. So the budget was about $1 million, and they brought in $2 million at the box office. So congratulations. Woo, we got a winner.
I love when that happens.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we cover so many like cult classics, which is typically cult classics don't do super well at the box office, and then they get picked up later. It's like cult love, you know? But I do like when I see a successful horror film.
Oh, wait, I was right.
What?
It was distribution. Charles Band released under Empire International Pictures.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's Charles Band's company before it became Full Moon.
Okay, heard. Gotcha. Cool,
Sorry
man.
to interrupt.
No, you're fine. If you got details, you throw them out there. It's fine.
Oh, I do, especially for this movie.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So, okay, yeah. Originally, this story was devised by Stuart Gordon as a theatrical stage production, and later a half-hour television pilot.
And he ended up doing a play for it.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
I wanted to. I haven't. It was mostly. I think it was like on the West Coast, right?
I don't know. I've never seen it. Never. So I don't know.
Because I know the actor Graham Skipper played Herbert West in it.
Okay, gotcha. Well, anyway, so yeah, this story could have been only theater. It could have been TV because it was a television pilot. And then the television script was revised to become a feature film. It was filmed in Hollywood, and the film originally released without a rating from the Motion Picture Association of America. And then later it did obtain an R rating. It's garnered its largest audience through the unrated cuts release on home video.
I just watched that.
That's the one you have?
Yeah, the one from Arrow Film. I have two. I have one from Anchor Bay, a Blu-ray of it. I don't know what cut that one is. Might be theatrical. But I have I just got from, I think, last Father's Day, Katie got it from me.
Nice. Okay.
The Blu-ray of it, yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, so Re-Animator is the first film collaboration between Gordon and Combs, and then the second would have been From Beyond in 1986.
So good.
Yeah, and then this is the first film in the Re-Animator film series, which was followed by Bride of Re-Animator in 1990 and Beyond Re-Animator. Yeah, dude, that one's great. We're gonna, I think we talked about this a little bit, Mikey and I. We want to do an episode for each movie, I think. I mean, I'd be down with that. So, yeah, you have Bride of Re-Animator in 1990 and then Beyond Re-Animator in 2003. Released to mostly positive reviews, Re-Animator has since been considered a cult film, but again, it made some money. So, cool stuff. So, any notes before we jump into the plot, Mikey?
Let me
or
see.
should I say Richard Johnson Ween? Mikey's name today is Richard Johnson Ween. Did you know that President Johnson was actually like real into his own dick? Like he had a massive apparently, and he used to like pull it out and slap it on tables in meetings. Swear to God, if you're listening to this podcast and you haven't heard of that, Lyndon B. Johnson and his Johnson, please Google it, look it up. There are stories like he did that shit.
I was just
Did I derail you?
You did, because I was going to say that one of my other favorite movies that Jeffrey Combs was in, it was the anthology movie Necronomicon.
Oh, there you go. Okay, nice.
Where he plays Lovecraft.
Yeah. No, that's. Did we watch that together?
No, we both got the DVDs at one of those like bootleg booths, but I think we did watch and talk about it.
Right. Yeah, we definitely did.
Yeah,
okay.
Tom Savini and John Carl Buechler were on the effects too.
Nice. Okay. Man, I love this little horror community and all these people who continue to work together and work on different projects together. It's really cool.
That one was directed by 3 different directors. One of them was Brian Usna, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, cool. Well, let's get it, man. We'll jump into the plot. And here we go, Richard Johnson Ween, Lyndon B. Johnson, Penis Man. At the University of Zurich Institute of Medicine in Switzerland, Herbert West brings his dead professor, Dr. Hans Gruber, back to life. That's how the movie starts. Dr. Hans Gruber. Bro. So I'm assuming that name was recycled?
I think it was.
Right. Because what year did that come out?
This one came out in 85. I don't know when Die Hard came out.
I think Die Hard was like 90. So
it could be a reference to that, because I know Shane Black is not Shane Black. Who directed that?
Yeah, so Die Hard came out in 88.
Yeah.
So Die Hard was a couple years after. So let's see here. It was directed by John McTiernan, and it was written by Jeb Stewart and Stephen E. D'Souza. And it was based on the 1979 novel Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe. Now, do you know, is Hans Gruber in the novel? I didn't know it was based on the novel. I was going to
ask you that. I'm not sure.
Let's find out. Okay, so no. So Hans Gruber was not in the...
Oh, wait. It was Anton...
Anton Little Tony the Red Gruber. So it was Anton Gruber. So, this novel came out in 1979. They did the 1980s trope of making them German, right? So maybe Anton was German already, but so someone decided to make it Hans Gruber for the movie. So someone now is Hans Gruber, was that the name of someone in the H.P. Lovecraft story or not?
I don't think so.
Right? I don't think so either.
I could be wrong.
Well, let's find out. We have time, and I can edit all of this. So, all right. Well, that's enough digging into Hans Gruber, but it looks like Hans Gruber didn't appear in the H.P. Lovecraft book. Hans Gruber didn't appear in the original novel that Die Hard was based on. So Hans Gruber was created in 1985, or possibly earlier, because you said there was a 1969 mention.
Yeah, but no,
somewhere.
It was like a different name. It was like for like a show or something.
Okay. So it sounds like Re-Animator used the name Hans Gruber at least 3 years before the name was used in Die Hard. So, hey,
That's
learning
funny.
shit. Right?
I didn't
Learning
put that
shit
together.
every day. I know. You learn something new every day when you come into the VHS Doom store. All right, let's jump back into it. Thanks for listening in. So, so there are horrible side effects, obviously, when Herbert West uses his reagent. As West explains, the dosage was too large, and when he's accused of killing Gruber, West counters, "I gave him life." So that's a pretty iconic. In the very beginning,
his eyes burst. That was crazy.
Yeah. Well, when his eyes burst and blood spurts all over the attending nurse, I believe she is. That's a pretty good scene because she just screams and has blood all over her face. So I like that little intro there. So West then arrives in Arkham, Massachusetts at Miskatonic University in order to further his studies as a medical student. This is where we first encounter Dan Cain because he has a room for rent, and Herbert West decides he's going to rent that room based on the fact that there is a basement where he can continue his work. West demonstrates his reanimating agent to Dan by reanimating Dan's dead cat, Rufus. Now, before we move forward, did he kill Rufus?
Cat's dead, details later.
Oh, his note? What was I supposed to leave a note? Cat's dead, details later. Man, I don't know why I always go to so my
I think
daughter's...
he did kill it.
Yeah, I think he did too. My daughter's really into Bluey right now, and I try to read with an Australian accent. So anytime I do a voice for somebody right now, somehow they kind of end up Australian. Oops.
Sammy loves Bluey.
Dude, I think Herbert West killed the cat, and I think that
I think so too.
Because the cat didn't like him, and he needed a test subject that was smaller. Because, humans kind of hard to start with. So that's his animal testing phase. So anyway, Dan goes down to the basement because he hears, he finds the cat in Herbert's fridge. He was going to tell him. He didn't tell him, whatever. Herbert's in the basement.
Meg finds him first.
Oh, yeah,
Meg
right.
finds him first because she heard the noise. Yeah.
Right. Meg is looking for the cat. She wanders into Herbert's room, which is not good. She finds him in the fridge, dead. They also find his reagent, and Herbert essentially says, "Stay out of my room, stay out of my things." So anyway, later that night, Dan hears a bunch of cat screaming noises. Makes his way down to the basement and finds Dr. West.
I had the subtitles on it and it said demonic cat noises.
Oh, nice. Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, that's what it was. Demonic cat noises. He makes his way to the basement. He finds his dead cat attacking Dr. West, and he ends up...
Which was hilarious.
Yeah, they end up, he grabs a shovel. They're trying to like get the cat. He ends up grabbing the cat because it jumps at him and he throws it against the wall so hard that its brains plaster on the wall, which was like, oh, I don't like the animal shit, man. I don't know, whatever. I know it's fake, but
Yeah, no, me neither. I didn't either.
yeah, anyway, but so Dan was forced to kill the cat again, and just to show him that his reagent is real, Dr. West reanimates the broken corpse of the cat, which to me, they leave this part out of the movie, but I'm like, man, they had to kill that cat twice. So if Herbert West killed the cat the first time and then Dan killed the cat the second time and then they had to kill the cat a third time, that's just fucked up, bro. That's animal abuse, you know? Anyway.
Well, he said he murdered like a bunch of animals.
Yeah, he did. So, yeah. Sad stuff, but God damn it. What's Balthy doing over there? Is that Scabby? Balthy, are you two fucking with Hugh again?
Wait, why am I floating?
What?
Why am I
Are you floating? God, son of a... All right, and we're back. You really can't trust these demons around here, man. You really can't.
I don't know where I went for a second, dude.
I don't know. Yeah,
I met Cthulhu and Dagon. It was really weird.
Oh, shit. And you made it back?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm not like... I don't know what happened before that.
Usually if you meet Cthulhu, there's no coming back, bro. So
no, I just don't remember anything afterwards.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Wouldn't it be fucked up if you were like the master of the universe and the most powerful thing that's ever existed, but you have to stay asleep? And so really your whole life is a dream of you living like an insignificant, not that you're insignificant and I'm not insignificant, but just like a normal life, right? So you're stuck in like a normal life and it's all a dream. But in reality, if you wake up, everything disappears. H.P. Lovecraft had a fucked up brain, man.
That's crazy.
Anyway. All right. So let's go. So Dan tries to tell the dean about West's success in reanimating the dead cat, but the dean does not believe him and really gets very, very angry. When Dan insists, the dean implies that Dan and West have gone mad. He gets barred from the school. He
makes him write an apology.
Yeah, and he cancels Dan's student loans and gets real, real mad. That was intense. That was an intense scene of an angry father who's very angry at her daughter's boyfriend. Anyway, so once they're barred from the school, West and Dan sneak into the morgue to test the reagent on a human subject in an attempt to prove that their reagent works. And thereby,
they shouldn't have picked such a big person.
I was going to say that. For some reason, they decided, I understand why. They were looking for the least damaged body. Right. And there was somebody who'd been run over by a semi, and there was someone who had just like messed up people, like burnt up body, whatever. So they picked the one that had like the least damage, which happened to be like a jacked, ripped dude. So yeah, they really had trouble with that once he came alive. Anyway, so yeah, they want to prove that their reagent works and thereby salvage their medical careers. The corpse that they do inject comes back to life, but in a frenetic and violent zombie-like state. Dr. Halsey stumbles into the scene and is killed by the reanimated corpse.
I felt so bad for him when the door fell.
Yep. Yeah, and he just got smushed. And then he gets his head banged on the wall over and over and over and over, which is super sad. And then... yeah, West kills the first reanimated
I love the scene.
Corpse with the bone saw right through the heart.
Chest. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was intense. And then he was excited at the prospect of working with a freshly dead specimen, so West injected Dr. Halsey's body with his reanimating agent. So Dr. Halsey returns to life, also in a zombie-like state. Meg happens to chance upon the scene, which is Dr. Halsey's daughter. She's hysterical. She had seen the dead reanimated cat, hadn't she? Didn't she come down
She
into the
walked
basement?
in on it. She walked in on it. Yeah.
Right. So she should kind of know what's happening, unfortunately. But I don't think that she's really into believing that.
Well, she also believes that her dad's just like lost his mind.
I think that she wants to. I think that's the thing. I think because she saw the reanimated corpse of the cat, I think that she probably knows what's going on, but I think she doesn't want to believe that that's the case, right?
That Dr. Hill is a piece of shit.
He is. We'll get there. Don't get too excited, man. You know, on the table. That's really gross. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm going to get ahead of myself. We got to calm down. Okay.
Sorry, it's one of our favorite movies.
No, yeah, I know. You're good. You're good. Okay, so so now we have Dr. Halsey, who is a reanimated zombie. But one thing, when he sees his daughter, he stops trying to kill people and he goes and he hides. So he has like an emotional reaction to seeing his daughter. So that's kind of a difference, right? So Dr. Halsey's colleague, Dr. Carl Hill, and the true villain of this movie, he's a professor and a researcher at the hospital. He takes charge of Dr. Halsey, whom he puts in a padded observation cell adjacent to his office. He does carry out a surgical operation on him. Lobotomizing him. So they had talked about earlier in the film, he had been congratulated on creating a laser drill, which is essentially just a laser lobotomizer. And I guess that
like a
got
cool band name, Lobotomizer.
Yeah, laser lobotomizer or just lobotomizer.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could like, I don't know, like take a picture of some varicose veins and call that our logo.
We might get banned on social media.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, so during the course of the operation, Dr. Hill discovers that Dr. Halsey is not sick, but dead and reanimated. So he gets super excited about that. So Dr. Hill then goes to West's basement lab and attempts to blackmail him into surrendering his reagent and notes, hoping to take credit for West's discovery. West offers to demonstrate the reagent and puts a few drops of it onto a microscope slide with the dead cat tissue. As Dr. Hill peers through the microscope at his slide, West clobbers him from behind with a shovel. Clobbers. Yes, I said clobbers. And then decapitates him with it.
That was really graphic, too.
Was super graphic when he was
even for the
stomping on
80s,
that
I feel
shovel.
like.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So then you get into just like one of the best character, like evil character development plots like ever. I love Headless Dr. Hill. It's like one of my favorite characters.
Part 2.
Stop it. Stop it. Don't spoil it.
It's a fun image.
It is when he's got bat ears.
Yeah, no, it's not even just that. They like sew a bat to him, like he's the head of the bat.
Right? Yeah. Jeez Louise. Yeah. Anyway, okay. We're not talking about 2. We're talking about 1.
We're not trying to spoil for you guys. We just got too excited.
All right. We get excited because we really like this franchise. So anyway, so while West is questioning Dr. Hill's head and hold on. Sorry. I got too far ahead. So after he gets to ha, I got ahead of myself.
Dad jokes.
Anyway, dad jokes. When West then reanimates Dr. Hill's head and body separately because he says, I've never tried the parts, only the whole. So he wants to animate 2 parts, which is awesome because while West is questioning Dr. Hill's head and taking notes, Dr. Hill's body sneaks up behind him and knocks him unconscious. The body carries the head back to Dr. Hill's office. They steal all of West's reagent.
My work, it's all gone.
All except a little bottle that West kept upstairs in the fridge in his room. So, in his reanimated state, Dr. Hill acquires the ability to control other reanimated corpses telepathically after conducting brain surgery on them. He then directs Dr. Halsey to snatch Meg away from Dan. What?
I said, oh God, this scene is so creepy.
Hold on. We're getting there. I know you want to talk about the creepy scene, but we're not there yet.
I almost bought the shirt of it.
What?
I forgot which company put it out, but they had the poster where like it's her on the table and Hill is looking at her shirt. I almost bought it.
Oh my God, so creepy. Okay, well, so before we move forward, in an earlier part of the film, when Dan and Meg are in Dr. Hill's office looking through files, Dan comes across a folder that has like stuff of Meg's in it, including like hair and like articles and stuff about her.
Oh yeah, real creepy shit.
Creepy like stalker stuff. So it becomes like very, very clear that Dr. Hill has an obsession with the dean's daughter, Meg, and I mean they made that very clear at a dinner scene earlier in the movie where Dan stopped by to pick Meg up. Dr. Hill is just super creepy towards Meg.
And so to Mr. Halsey also.
Yes.
He's like telling him to like make them break up and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah. Super creepy and entitled. But anyway, so, yeah, so Dr. Hill directed Dr. Halsey to snatch Meg away from Dan. While she's being carried to the morgue by her reanimated father, Meg faints. When she arrives, Dr. Hill puts her on a table, or her father, reanimated corpse, unfortunately, put her on the table, strapped her down. Dr. Hill strips her naked, and she regains consciousness as Dr. Hill's body and bloody severed head begin to assault her. So, unfortunately, I mean, one, for effects purposes, like the way that like they had to put this together to make it work, like the body's carrying the head around and the head's doing bad things to Meg. But I mean, it's a pretty cool like suit, you know, that they put together to make that work as far as effects go. So Hill's body starts to place his head between Megan's legs, unfortunately. But fortunately, that is all interrupted by the arrival of West and Dan. Dun, dun, dun. West distracts Dr. Hill while Dan frees Megan. Dr. Hill reveals that he's reanimated and lobotomized several corpses from the morgue, rendering them susceptible to the mind control that he is doing, as is Halsey. So Halsey is also under mind control currently, which is good to know. However, Meg's voice reawakens protectiveness in her father, who fights off the other corpses as Dan and Meg escape. In the ensuing chaos, West injects Dr. Hill's body with a lethal overdose of the reagent. Dr. Hill's
overdose? That's how he said it.
Yeah. Well, so Dr. Hill, his body mutates rapidly and attacks West, who screams out to Dan to save his work before being pulled away by Dr. Hill's monstrous entrails.
It kind of reminded me of what happened in Dead Alive last week.
I know. I love a good entrail scene. Honestly, it's so silly when entrails come alive and start to attack.
They attack like octopuses. It's like so creepy.
Yeah, it's just so funny. There's a scene in Turbo Kid. Did you ever watch Turbo Kid?
Yeah, I have the Blu-ray.
Where they attach that dude's like intestines to a bike wheel and start to pull them out by pedaling.
Oh, I remember I told you about it and then you saw it. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's one of the sickest like entrails. I mean, that doesn't come alive. That's like different, you know. It's like evisceration almost. But
yeah,
the whole intestines trope is just funny to me for some reason. I don't know why.
Just like it coming alive and choking you.
Right? Yeah, for sure. Like it's like a snake. Anyway.
Well, it's Lovecraft, so it had to be tentacles in it somewhere.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. You gotta homage and pay homage to the man. So. All right, so at the very end here, Dan retrieves the satchel containing West's reagent and notes. As Dan and Megan flee the morgue, one of the reanimated corpses does attack and strangles Megan. Super sad right at the end there. Dan takes her to the hospital emergency room and tries to revive her, but she's dead. So, in the very beginning of the film, which is not in these notes, the whole film starts out with Dan trying to bring a dead woman back to life by, like, giving her CPR. but she's too far gone, and he gets yelled at by his attending doctor because he's trying too hard. Right? Once dead is dead. Well, the whole team, the same team is there in the end with Meg, and they try to give her CPR and bring her back, but she just doesn't come back, and everybody walks away. But this time, Dan has Dr. West's reagent. So, in despair, Dan injects her with the reagent. The scene fades, and you can hear Meg screaming bloody murder in the background. So
there's a deleted scene. I was gonna say when it happens like this.
Okay,
but it's like it seems like it's a dream where like Dan like is like wheeling her in there, and she's naked on a table, and her dad is there, and he's fine. Dr. Hill is there, he's fine, and Herbert West is there, and then Dan gives her the reagent, and she comes back, and then like Herbert starts saying like weird sexual shit to him, like saying, "Oh, she wants it, she's like craving it." And then all of a sudden, she's like starts attacking him, and it ends.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a deleted scene on the Arrow Blu-ray.
Nice. Okay, I've never seen that. That's cool, though.
I forgot. I think I've seen it like maybe like another release or something, or maybe I'm just making it up. But it was cool.
That's cool. That's really cool. Nice. Yeah. So that is such an ominous end, and leaves so much open, right, for future installments.
Yep.
So that's the plot. So let's see here. Cast notes. We kind of went through all of those already.
Barbara Crampton was really good. She did a bunch of good movies with Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah. She was really solid. David Gale, man, that performance.
Oh, he's great.
Just choice. Yeah, and so like when his body had to add a blood bag to his bucket so he could like breathe more, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and he was like,
yeah, his performance there, like imagine how much that would really hurt your voice if you talked like that.
So creepy.
Extended periods of time. So really dedicated to that part. So that was really cool. Yeah, so we talked about all of that. Production. So the idea to make the Re-Animator came from a discussion that Stuart Gordon had with his friends one night about vampire films. He felt that there were too many Dracula films and expressed a desire to see like a Frankenstein film. Someone asked if he had read Herbert West Re-Animator by H.P. Lovecraft. Gordon had read most of the author's works, but not that story, which was long out of print. He went to the Chicago Public Library and read their copy, and the rest there was history. As we kind of talked about earlier, he tried a stage play, he tried a TV pilot, and then he made it to a movie. Yeah, so principal photography began on November 28th, 1984, with a 6-week shooting schedule. The Gordon has boasted that they finished shooting the film in just 4 weeks. That's pretty good. Yeah. The biggest makeup challenge in the film was the headless Dr. Hill zombie. Yep. Yeah, Tony Dublin designed the mechanical effects and was faced with the problem of proportion since the 9 to 10 inches of the head were removed from the body. Each scene forced him to use a different technique. For example, one technique involved building an upper torso that actor David Gale could bend over and stick his head through so that it appeared to be the one that the walking corpse was carrying around. That's like the scene where it's like holding his head and going to do bad things to Meg.
Yeah.
That would be, he had his head stuck out the middle. So that's pretty cool. And then, FYI, the reanimating agent was just simply luminol. And luminol, can have a blue glow or
that's the
can
stuff
have a green
in,
glow.
or what are they called? What are they called? I'm so stupid.
Oh, you just like the glow lights?
Glow
like the
lights, glow
lights? Yeah.
I forgot the word for glow
Yeah.
lights.
Yeah, and they use luminol in like CSI, like crime scene investigation, where they spray it to see if they can find blood traces.
I think I'm going to drink some tonight. See what happens.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Gabby
probably
just told me to.
piss blood tomorrow, Richard Johnson Ween. Be careful.
Scabby Man's telling me to. I got him.
Don't listen. Whatever he says, don't do it, and don't go on the roof.
I ate the scabs.
Did you? God, son of a bit. Okay. Well, it's been nice knowing you, Richard John. And there he goes down the rabbit hole. He's probably tripping balls, though, so good for him. Okay. All right, so we'll finish this.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you're back? He let you go?
Yeah. How long was that? It felt like 2 hours.
No, that was only a couple seconds.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. It's like you were like... I feel like eating a scab by Scabby Man is like huffing like keyboard duster, you know? Like it lasts way too long, but it was only like a second.
Like when Pinhead takes you within the box kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, anyway, cool. All right, let's move forward. So...
As Mike drags down the show.
No, not at all. We're having so much fun. All right, so... reception. The film was actually very well received by critics at the time that it came out, earning mostly positive reviews. Let's see. Some of the comments were like from Pauline Kael. I guess she is from The New Yorker. She said that she enjoyed the film's indigenous American junkiness. Okay.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I don't either, but thank you, Pauline. She's probably smarter than I am. So, let's see here. Roger Ebert gave the film 3 out of 4 stars. That's pretty good.
He doesn't like horror movies.
Yeah, so that's good. He wrote, I walked out somewhat surprised and reinvigorated, if not reanimated, by a movie that had the audience emitting taxi whistles and wild goat cries. All right, cool. I wish I could have seen that in the theater. Wild. And then in her review for the New York Times, Janet Maslin wrote, Re-Animator has a fast pace and a good deal of grisly vitality. It even has a sense of humor, albeit one that would be lost on 99.9% of any ordinary movie-going crowd. So it's for a very specific audience, and she's not wrong. So, and then also Jeffrey Combs did get praised by the Washington Post. Paul Atanasio, whatever. He said, beady-eyed. Hold on. It caught me off guard. Okay.
Beady-eyed, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it caught me off guard because they said this is positive. Hold on. All right, so Paul Atanasio, in his review for the Washington Post, praised Jeffrey Combs' performance. Beady-eyed, his face hard, almost lacquered, Combs makes West into a brittle, slightly fey psychotic in the Anthony Perkins mold. West is a figure of fun, but Combs doesn't spoof him. Yeah, so... I mean, that's kind of the weirdest compliment I've ever read in my life.
But, yeah, to be called Anthony Perkins.
Beady-eyed with a hard face.
Yeah, they both do.
I could see it. Yeah, for sure. All right. So, reviews at the time were really good, both for the actors and for the film itself. And reviews today, like the movie made money. The movie had good critical reception, and the movie turned into a cult classic and still has great reviews because as of today, Rotten Tomatoes has it at an approval rating of 94%, which is really good. Rotten Tomatoes, man, you can look at some like classic movies that you're like, oh, that's pretty good, and they're like 30%. Rotten Tomatoes is brutal.
I don't really like using any of these sites. Like, it's weird. So I have a Instagram that I use to post where I watch movies. But I don't really like Letterboxd or Rotten Tomatoes. I don't really care that much about that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, everybody refers to them, right? If you Google a movie, you're always going to get the Rotten Tomatoes
I just like
score.
looking up a movie and finding and watching it. Because I was just thinking the other day that, like, I probably even said this to you, that I wish I can go back and watching a movie again that, like, I really love. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
First time kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. I think that this is a good point to put this in because I feel like I do refer to Rotten Tomatoes pretty much every episode because it's a very common rating, for every movie. But I don't think that anyone at any time should base their desire to watch a film solely on Rotten Tomatoes or reviews by Roger and Ebert or Siskel and Ebert,
Especially
or
not
you
any
know,
of them.
any of them. Go watch it for yourself. If you're like, oh, that's interesting, just watch it. I mean, shoot, like I was talking about on the last episode, The Last Man on Earth. The Last Man on Earth actually did not get good reviews, and it's like one of my favorite movies of all time.
The Thing,
right?
when it first came out, it was heavily shit on.
Yep. Absolutely. There are a lot of movies that are just like really shit on, and they're really good. So
Once
don't
you
ever
find
pay
out
attention
people
to
hate
that.
them, like when Roger, was it Ebert, Siskel and Ebert, or when he was with the other guy? He was like when he was in the like 80s, you get like talking about how bad these slasher movies were, and they're all like really good ones.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I think, did you ever, oh gosh, I Spit on Your Grave. I think that they gave like 0 stars. Like it was like their biggest waste of time ever. You know what I mean? But
Which
like,
I don't think it
it's
is.
like,
I don't think it's. I think it's a really effective movie. It's like disturbing
right.
enough, yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. So don't pay these ratings too much weight. I think that that's a good point to add this. But I do like to always cover it just because it kind of reinforces like, hey, you know, the movie might have been crappy or like poorly received, like specifically movies that are poorly received, like they might have been, you know, critical failures at the time. But hey, look at the Rotten Tomatoes today. But again, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Some other items of note, though, for Re-Animator. So Metacritic did give the film a 73 out of 100. That's
Just a
14
73.
critics. Yeah, but I mean, that's still okay. And then Entertainment Weekly did rank the film number 32 of the top 50 cult films of all time. And it's been on a bunch of other lists, too. So... And then, like you talked about a little bit earlier, in 2011, there was a musical adaptation which opened in New York.
Directed by Stuart Gordon.
Yep. Gordon participated in that. And then Herbert West, the character of Herbert West, has been in a number of comic book adaptations by different companies, such as Adventure Comics, Zenescope Entertainment, and Dynamite Entertainment.
I have the Dynamite ones.
Okay, nice. The Re-Animator titles.
Yeah, I have like one issue of it, but it's really good.
Okay. And then West also appeared in Devil's Due Publishing's Hack Slash series as a side character, and in 3 crossover comics by Dynamite Entertainment,
didn't
which
they
was
do a crossover with Ash?
Yeah, Army of Darkness versus Re-Animator.
Yeah, I had that one too.
And then there's also the Army of Darkness / Re-Animator.
You know, that would be
an
amazing movie.
Yeah, right?
Because like
that really
Evil
would.
Dead is really Lovecraftian.
Yeah.
And I feel like it
could
like work.
I think it could.
Like
could
instead
too.
of like Herbert West finds a way of like creating demons. Sorry, I've thought about this like for a long time.
Dude, hey, like pitch it to,
or even like
Hellraiser,
like a Hellraiser like Re-Animator.
Oh man, right? Well, I think that I like the Evil Dead Re-Animator crossover because I really like you have reanimated corpses which are like alive, but then you also have like demon possessed corpses. Like where could you go with that? There's like so much
too.
Right? There's like so much you could do. So I like that a lot. That's
also
cool.
The Necronomicon, which is in Call of Cthulhu, is the book in the Evil Dead movies.
Right? Yeah, for sure. I think that would be an awesome. And you know what? Somebody'll do it. Somebody will do it at some point. So, or hey, maybe we could do it.
Yeah, let's call Bruce Campbell and Jeffrey Combs.
So Bruce Campbell right now is on this like tour of the country where he's doing like a game show, like a Bruce's game show.
He is?
Thing.
I
Have
didn't
you
know
seen
about
that?
this.
Yeah, I follow him on Twitter. I try to like keep tabs because I like the guy.
Him, but, like all my like For You page is broken.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I mean like not the one for the show. I mean like my main account. It just keeps showing me like really bad stuff.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like that happens. Sometimes your algorithm gets broken, right?
Yeah, I just like that's why I like going on the VHS Doom one because I can see like all the movie stuff and all like the cool like stuff that I enjoy.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point, Mikey. So if you guys are listening to this and you haven't already, you didn't find us on Twitter, go give us a follow on Twitter. It's at VHS Doom Pod, POD, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Our Instagram and our Facebook are a little quieter, because Mikey's still figuring those out, but our Twitter is popping, and you get a lot of really good recommendations on movies, and it's a fun account to follow. So go do that and keep tabs on what we're doing here at the store, what kind of new titles we're getting in, what we're watching during the week. It's a ton of fun. Also, if you want, you definitely should go to vhsdoom.com. We have our own website. That's right. We're cool.
And our own merch.
Yeah, and we have our own merch. So there is on the website a staff shirt. You can buy a VHS Doom staff shirt. Join the crew. You don't even have to put in an application. This place is super loosey-goosey. You just wear the shirt and you're on the staff.
You don't get paid.
So if you want one, yeah. Go buy a shirt. We don't give out second shirts though. When you start a job, they usually give you a couple shirts. We don't do that. You buy one. And if you get a hole in it, you just got to wear a holey shirt or buy another one.
Or sew it.
But for real, on a real note, if you do go buy a shirt, all proceeds do go towards helping Mikey get a microphone and sound studio set up in his house. So yeah, help a brother out, right? Anyway, yeah. So that's my like shameless plug for 2 seconds. Oh, and one more shameless plug. If you're what?
Can I plug stuff too?
Butt plug stuff?
What?
What'd you say?
Can I plug stuff too?
Yeah, sure. Well, but go ahead, Mike.
Oh no,
yes.
no, I was gonna go after you. I was just like asking if.
No, go ahead, butt plug.
God damn it.
Richard Johnson, Lyndon B. Johnson, heavy dick. Let's go.
Also follow me at my Twitter at MikeyXMutant. I'm currently banned for 6 days, but I will respond on this account.
Mikey, you're always in jail.
And also follow my other podcast, A Dab of Death podcast.
Yes.
For all your death metal and true crime needs.
Yeah, for sure. Go check out A Dab of Death podcast with Mikey and Jimmy. They have a lot of fun, and they do talk all things metal, true crime. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, you guys got a lot of good stuff. And then I'll put in my last plug here. If you're a fan of this show and listening to me talk and Mikey talk, you can also go listen to the Doombox podcast. That's Doombox, like Boombox, but Doom, because it's full of doom. Balthazar is my co-host on that podcast.
He's been going wild on Twitter.
The what?
He's been going wild on Twitter.
Yeah, he does that sometimes. He's a lot lately, but
Oh, I do have some funny news. We got banned from blocked by a Scientology account.
Oh, VHS Doom did?
Yeah, because I told them that Lovecraft was better than L. Ron Hubbard.
That's awesome.
I mean, two science fiction writers. Come on.
They have a lot of money, so please don't get a hit put out on you. If you disappeared, I'll know, like, okay, well, I got to open the store.
I want to meet Tom Cruise, though.
I got to open the store by myself.
You want to go? Tom Cruise and Jamie, what's his name? Jamie Foxx.
So, okay. All right, let's do a bit on Scientology. My parents live in Florida in a little town called Dunedin, which is right next to Clearwater. Well, downtown Clearwater, the entire city of downtown, like
it's
the downtown
pretty much Scientology,
area,
right?
is all owned by the Church of Scientology. So there are a bunch of fake businesses down there because they make the place look nice, but nothing's real. So like if you go into like the bagel shop or you go into like get coffee, when you walk in, there's like one person in there and there's no food. And they're just like, what do you want? Like there,
It's kind
it's
of
not.
like when you go to North Korea.
Yeah. So it's all fake. And then their main building used to be like an old hotel, and it's like massive. And there are
Oh, I think
people.
I saw a Louis Theroux documentary on it. Didn't they like bully him away from there?
Yeah, you can't. If you're a non-Scientologist, you can't just be hanging out downtown. They'll kick you out of the area.
They won't just do that. They'll fucking like stalk you for like
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, they will. They're real intense. So be careful messing with Scientology, especially if you happen to live in Florida. Anyway, yeah. So it got way off track there, but it
Sorry.
is.
Yeah, I was just saying Lovecraft was better than L. Ron Hubbard.
If you donate enough money, you can levitate like Tom Cruise, though, on the top floor in Clearwater.
Do your own
Florida.
stunts and jump off the roof.
Yeah, right. And fly and possibly like go on Oprah and jump on a couch. I don't know.
I will
whatever.
say Live, Die, Repeat is really good.
Okay. Yeah, I did like that one. That is a good one. Anyway, whatever. All right, we're done with all that. So yeah, go follow us. Follow the Dab of Death podcast. Follow the Doombox podcast, and keep listening to our cool stuff. That's it. Anyway, so that's it, folks. We have covered once again another sick ass title. So that's going to be our primary recommendation this week. I think that we're going to only do 5 this week because I noticed that you didn't rewind the 6th title from last week. So no more freebies, mother. I'm kidding. But this week we're going to recommend Re-Animator, which we just covered in depth. I am also going to recommend Bad Taste. Mikey, what 2 films would you like to recommend?
Fright Night Part 2 from 1988.
Okay.
And maybe if you haven't seen the first one, watch the first one. It's really good too.
Okay, so Mikey's
same star, and Roddy McDowell's in it too.
All right, so Mikey's going to do another 1 and 2 for you this week. You're like the series guy, so
I think I am, honestly, because I really do like this franchise. I even like the remakes.
Okay. I'm down with that. And then let's do a title for the kiddos. So this week, what do you want to recommend? Because I feel like I pulled one out last week.
Could it be a TV show or?
No, it's got to be a movie.
Black Cauldron. Is that too bad? Or?
Ooh, yeah, that's for those kids who are like already kind of dark in their souls.
It's a good Disney movie.
It is. It's just intense. All right, so we're gonna recommend Black Cauldron by Disney. That's a good one to get kids started into the world of horror, I think.
Horror and fantasy for sure.
Yeah, fantasy for sure, right. Okay, cool. Yeah, so step on up, kids. Oh, wait. Hey, you didn't grab any popcorn. Get your popcorn. Get your candy. Get your sody pop.
Wait, why is there like scabs all over the popcorn? Oh no, it's happening.
No, don't look at that. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. All right, come on. All right, let's check out. Oh goddamn! Get out! All right, you guys we gotta go. We gotta close the store. Scabby is spending way too much time in the store these days. Tell him Jimmy really needs to get back on doing some episodes because he's got to go back to Jimmy's house. He cannot hang out here all the time.
I think he's like behind you right now.
Oh God, son of a!
He and I share a birthday.
And then, do that?
Anthony Perkins and I, yeah. Well, not anymore. He's dead, but yeah.
Well, I mean, we all will be at some point. So happy birthday to him and happy birthday to you. Wait, hold on.
When's
your birthday? April 4th.
Yeah.
I knew that. Okay. I'm cutting all of that out. Okay. So
please stop doxing me all throughout the show.
All right. So,
do you want my social?
Yeah. What?
I said, do you want my social too?
Yeah. What's your social?
666-420-666.
Yeah, that was the right amount of numbers. Okay.
Isn't it
Good
like
to know.
333?
Well, yeah,
Well,
but you
4.
did 66642. You could do
69.
666420666.
No,
Yeah.
69.
Oh, 69. 369. To the windows, to the wall, to the sweat drops down my balls. Oh, Richard Johnson Ween. Oh, Richard Johnson Ween. Oh, Richard
Could this
Johnson
be the
Ween.
ending of the show? Like, you put it all the way at the end? That's really...
Yeah, this will be the after credits. Okay, all right, let's get back on track. So, holy shit.
Okay.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. So,